everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight's matchup features two quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's the Buccaneers going up against the Cowboys. For the call, let's send you out to the broadcast booth, where we'll join our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Dallas Cowboys. The play clock's running down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32. And this offense can air it out, and when they do, you have to key on Mike Evans.
And we do think about his catch radius first and foremost. A tall, lean receiver, but he actually can make some agile plays as well.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Room here to run. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Let's just go ahead and state the obvious. You're going to want a big game out of that guy. Big-time run to get things started. But even more importantly, coming in on the road, trying to silence the crowd, take them out of it a little bit, slow down the emotions of the game, and get yourselves under control if you're like, yeah, we're going to be okay on the road.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front, they moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49.
When I watch plays like that, I give a lot of thanks that my DNA did not make me an offensive tackle, because that is a very difficult job to hold your block against a really good defensive end and hang on to it so your runner can get to the edge and do it without holding. I don't know that that's really possible for very many people.
On third down, Winston. And he's got his man on the out route. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
What's fun to watch is these college receivers transitioning into the NFL and how they grow as route runners. Because a lot of times now in the college game, the spread offenses, there aren't that many routes that they're actually running. Most of the time, they're just trying to find open space and present themselves to the quarterback as easy targets. But in the NFL, you've got to run the entire route tree, and you've got to run it well if you expect to get open.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 13 yards there on the pickup, and it's good enough for a Tampa Bay first.
It's so important to establish the running game early in a contest, because when you do that, that just opens your playbook so big for your offensive coordinator. And to be frank about it, They like calling pass plays better than they like calling running plays. And with the way that they're running it right now, that's going to open things up to do whatever they want through the air as this game goes on.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is going to lose yardage here. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
The way he roared up and made that play, that tells me that he spent a lot of time in the film room analyzing what this offense does, and he saw something that convinced him he didn't have to worry about the pass. He could just go right now and make a play. I think if you're the offensive team, you better file that away a little bit. Maybe think about some play action down the road. You might catch him deep.
Here's Winston. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. And now the defense for Dallas.
Darqueze Dennard is an up-and-coming quarterback who thrives in press man coverage.
Now they're coming up on play number 8 of this opening drive, but they're looking at a 3rd and long. Third and long for Winston. And that is incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And Aguayo's kick is good. And the Bucs take a 3-0 lead. So our initial drive here this afternoon results in 3. I'm not sure that was a statement necessarily, but getting points on the road, never a bad thing.
No question about it, Brandon. You had a crowd that was all fired up during pregame introductions, yet you're able to quiet them just a little bit by taking the early lead.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, 79 yards. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it. That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there. And that's why the fullback position was created. You just want a big, strong, powerful guy you can hand the ball to and pick up good yardage.
Second down, and the offense needing 5 yards. One receiver to the left is Evans. Second down, Winston. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and they're going to face a third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So here we go, a third down after the second down pass completion. They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Well, they had the box stacked. That run was going nowhere from the start.
And when you say stacked, you really mean it, don't you? Because when you're talking about a 46 defense, commonly known as the Bear defense, you're covering up the guys inside, and you're allowing other people to get in there close to the line of scrimmage, usually an 8-man front. That's difficult to block for an offense. On that play, the defense won in a big way. No gain at all.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. They'll start the drive with Elliott. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander. Dez Bryant, certainly one of the go-to guys, if not the go-to guy for this offensive unit.
One of the most talked about players in the league, as well as one of the most productive receivers. He attacks the football downfield.
Watch it now, Barney. Here we go now. Blue 90. Watch it now, Barney.
On second down, Elliott. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
Defense has set themselves up nicely. 3rd and 10 now. Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He sets to fire deep. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
So on 4th down, here's a punter, Jeff Locke, to kick it away. Fielded at about the 28. 49-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, with just punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Well, how many times do we say in this game is speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways. In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice gain.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
They come out here in the eye. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first.
Football's such a game of tendencies, down and distance, and on 3rd and inches, 3rd and 1, you're thinking, man, the fullback's probably going to get the ball. But when you get to 3rd and 2, most of the time that's either the running back or a pass play. So that's a nice tendency breaker by the offensive team there. Hand it to their big guy to pick up a first down.
And now here's a carry heading left. Cuts it out here, left sideline. 10 yards on the pickup there. And that'll be good enough for a Tampa Bay first down.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point you've got to win at the point of attack, and on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy. Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one. So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays. But I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Oh, long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. They come out here in the eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bucs are going to retake the lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. No. Jack,
They start on the ground with Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. 30. He cuts out left sideline. A little room now. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Cowboys have once again taken the lead. And that makes it 14-10. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field, and it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But, you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
I don't care what the emphasis is in the NFL at any given time. Every defense is still going to say their number one goal every game is stop the run. And right now they're not doing that. And that really chips away at your confidence.
And they'll go on the ground. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. They come out here in the eye. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, partner, they've been running it well the entire game, and the big guys up front, they're a huge reason why. And now they're reaping the benefits as they continue to open up big holes and gain nice yardage.
Second down and 4. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
And they're going to speed things up here. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout call. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So 3rd and 2, and I count 6 defensive backs out there. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So it'll be first down here after the run. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Winston now to throw on first down. Going for the deep ball. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off. It's J.J. Wilcox. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
They come out here in the eye. A first down carry by Elliott. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
But both teams practice this situation, and this time the guys on offense won, and in a very nice way. What a run from that position on their own goal line.
Gave him some good breathing room.
I wonder now, do you still stack the line of scrimmage, or do you play normal defense? They may have backed them off with that run.
Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie up to make the tackle. So we have come, and okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. Shotgun. He'll look to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. Only 2 yards on the completion. It's 2nd down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
Watch it now, Barney.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. They'll try the right side with Elliott. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now to 3rd and 6.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
One man in the backfield, Elliott. And the big tight end shifting around. They're going to give it to him running right. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down. And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down. And they'll run it here. Call it a pickup of 7, and they're able to convert here on 4th and inches.
Wow. That one took some guts. If this doesn't work, you're handing them incredible field position, but this head coach is undaunted, and he makes the call to go for it, and I'll be darned if they don't get the first down.
The give is to Elliott. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game. And I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
We got three, fellas. We got three.
On third down, Elliott. And an alley to run. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big run that time by Elliott. And even 50 yards. So you got the lead here in the second half. Obviously, you love big runs like that at any time. Here, you really like them.
And how about the confidence that's being exhibited by that offense now? They don't care what you're lining up doing on the defensive side. They want the big fella to carry the football and carry it often.
And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
No. Check. Patriot. Here we go.
Second down, the ball on the 2 here, second and goal. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it third and goal. From back at the 3 now. This is third and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott with touchdown number 3 in the game and 6 on the year. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. It's good, and it's 21-10. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. But sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. And he is going to lose yardage here. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. An encroachment penalty here, maybe just a mental lapse, partner.
Sometimes you have to just watch the football. Make sure it's snapped before you're jumping. I spy a couple of extra defensive backs on the field for Dallas.
Cowboys in the dime on third. Winston from the gun on third down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact.
It's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
This is taken at the 18. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And out now come the Cowboys. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
Hurry up, here we go.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he stopped immediately there. And the offense facing a 3rd and 6. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
This is taken at about the 14. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Ha-ha, Clinton Dix there for the stop. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Aaron Donald in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Ready. Move ready. Quick.
Back now here on EA Sports. And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bringing an extra defensive back. Working out of the gun. Winston. He's going to rifle one deep left side. So pass interference on the defense. And, Charles, this is a penalty we see all the time.
The offenses know what they're doing. They know how to create great matchups. And defenders, if you're not there in time, they will throw the flag.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there. Shipped together here from the D-line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard. And quickly they get to the line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the 1st down.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
4 yards remaining now on 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. They're going to hurry back to the line now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. They'll try to throw now. Winston trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Bryant spread out to the right.
Here we go now.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Trying to lay one up deep. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
4 down. Let's go.
A give to Elliott. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
All right, here we go. Fine now. Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Here's Jeff Locke now as he's on to punt for Dallas. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded just inside the 20. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is the only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those.
He's got him in, complete. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Are we really in the second half here? And this is the first time we've seen Jameis Winston connect with Mike Evans.
Yeah, you know that they missed that in the first half. Up until this point, they've really missed it, haven't they?
I think that's a big reason why they're down on the scoreboard right now.
And the offense moving quickly to the line. Now Jameis on 2nd down. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete. Well, they haven't had a whole lot of success in the passing game here. Now, in the second half, he's thinking, I guess maybe just take a shot deep.
I think you're right. Almost looking for a bailout, isn't he? Can my receiver go up and make a big play for me? Can I create a penalty downfield, maybe pick up an interference call and get that yardage downfield? Anything trying to get going again, but you're right. He definitely took a shot.
On 3rd down, Winston. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And he has got it. from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. All right, so you needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal then maybe not exactly what they wanted, but it's a necessary first step.
Still plenty of time remaining, but you could really use a stop defensively after the kickoff, preferably a 3-and-out.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was saying about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
So they're leading. They have possession of the football, and certainly this is where they just want to milk the clock.
Let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's third down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
And the defense in desperate need of a stop. They have to get off the field and get the ball back to their offense if they want a chance.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
A give to Elliott running left. And he is going to lose yardage here. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Here's Jeff Locke now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. That's taken on the 25. So out come the Bucs now. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
And there's a nice stop for the defense. They've had a tough time containing this guy all game long, but maybe they can build a little bit off of that play, a little bit of confidence, a little bit of momentum. Yeah, every now and then you can actually tackle that guy.
Back to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes where people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion. Back to throw. It's complete to Jerome Brown. They do get 9, but it leads to fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. 1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. Running on fourth at Zach Line. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. They'll run it now out the gun. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And he's going to go out of bounds, taking it down inside the 25. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
He's back to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
Zach Line with it, the fullback. And he'll take this one down inside the 5 to the 3. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry up. This is Zach Line, the fullback. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. So they've gotten it to the 1. Can they get that final yard here on 3rd and goal? They come up in an offset eye. Now they'll put a receiver in motion left. Now 3rd down and goal from the 1. Fighting through. And he gets in just in the nick of time, so they get the touchdown they need. Now they need a 2-point conversion to tie it. So they'll look to convert that and then hold on here in the final minute to force overtime.
And let's check the nerves of not just the guy kicking the ball, but how about the snapper and the holder as well.
Listen to this crowd now. Their guys need a stop on this 2-point conversion. They'll run with a fullback, Zach Line. And he will bowl his way in there for the 2 points. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range, not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They come out here in the eye. They go to Elliott again. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They're set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, That gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing, because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. No gain, and it's second down.
And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
Now the first throw in overtime for Winston. Smith catches left side. 23 yards on the play.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. And now they're in the hurry-up. Another carry for the fullback, Zach Line. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Oh, and the hard count might have got him. This might be a first down. Try the right side here. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line. J.J. Wilcox in on the stop.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, yeah, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he's a big factor in the run game. No gain.
Winston. And he finds Safarian Jenkins. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. And they give this time to the tailback. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
Inside the red zone, and that means don't come away from there with anything less than 3 points, but everyone's thinking about 6. They're trying to get to the end zone. They decide to run a toss. Big people up front being mobile and moving, and a running back trying to follow behind them to find yardage, and that's exactly what he did.
Jameis to throw it. He's got Evans. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I think there's a lesson there. Some days you're just having a really tough time, and for the defense, today has been that day. But after that play, what do you learn? You can still make plays even when the other guy's having success against you.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. As the fans exit back out through the turnstiles, not happy looks on their faces. Feel like they probably let this one slip away at home in overtime.
I would agree with that, and their unhappiness hurts the guys at the concession stands on the way out, right? Not stopping to buy something for the kids. They just want to get home. But what a dramatic way to finish this bad boy off. I mean, this game was dramatic all the way through. That's why we got to overtime. And then to go ahead and finish it this way, the fans streaming out unhappy. But the team that came in here and won this one...